Lake is back, Salt Lake is back. I think I need to check myself in like, why am I talking? And I did the same thing with Roni in like the third week of who's going to go and who's not going to go. Like, what has happened in my life that I just can't live in the moment and enjoy the moment? So as Potomac goes on and Salt Lake, I'm going to just live in the moment. That's not me backtracking for anything I said wrong. I'm just like, why am I always talking? And like, I've been talking about Dorit going in the third week of Beverly Hills. Why don't I just enjoy the moment and stop trying to make predictions? Because we don't know what's going to happen, David. So I'm going to check myself first of all here today. You know, I've been having moments of coming to your side of like, maybe Sarah's right. Like, I think Diana is going to remove herself. I do. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not sure they want her back anyway, but I think Diana will remove herself. I'm not so sure anyone else is going now. That I'm back to that. To your point of like the ratings are great. I don't know. I go back and forth. I mean, listen, a lot of people in my comments are like, we will not watch if Rinna, and I'm getting back to people. I'm like, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I'm calling bullshit. And then one woman's like, I'm not going to watch. I'm like, okay, so Bravo doesn't care. You're one person. Everyone's not going to watch if Rinna comes back. And listen, if that's the case, great. I don't really buy it. So I don't know if they really care, but it is a lot of this is like Dorinda, like when it's really hot. I'm so torn. I really have moments where I come to your side of like, you're right. Nobody's going. I don't think Dorit's going. You're right. It's maybe Cherie. They'll get rid of Cherie Zampino and Diana will leave, and that will leave 8 people and we'll go forward, maybe. Right? I don't know. And then Rinna is so, I think she's coming unraveled. Really, right?
Yeah, I do. I don't know. I do feel like there's something. I mean, it's interesting to me. She continues to kind of put out these in your face posts, Then she did the IG story recently breaking down, essentially just keeping alluding to, I know more about you, Kathy. Like you can fool everyone, but I don't believe in your beliefs. And, kind of insinuating that Kathy is whatever, judgmental or homophobic or whatever it is,
I
right?
saw that.
And I'm just like, I don't know. It to me, Rena's whole thing has been built on just be honest. I'm honest. So it's like to me, if Kathy really said those things and you've built the past 9 years or whatever that you've been on, I don't know. I just think that she is a little unhinged at this point. And I mean, Lisa Rinna, like we talked about, Lisa, Bethany Frankel, Nene. I mean, these are
Vanderpump,
these are the top of the top. I mean, these women know how to play the system and play this game better than anyone. I mean, Rinna might be the best. I mean, so
she might be. I think
know.
she might be the best ever. I'm not just. I kind of agree with you. Right. But that video where she's like, you TikTokers, I know what I'm doing. It's like, this just doesn't seem like you're okay. Like, do you know what you're doing? I mean, maybe. And if that's the case, that doesn't help. I don't know. It's just, to me, she really, truly seems like she is coming unraveled, just like I feel like Dorinda did. And now Dorinda has had a pause and listen, I don't think she had such a performance of stability on Girls Trip, but I think that harsh, crazy, unraveled Dorinda, when she wanted Tinsley hung to the coals, we've kind of, I don't know. That's where I'm like, I don't think Bravo wants to deal with real craziness. And so I don't know. I'm so torn about Rinna.
I
And
know.
then I'm like,
I am
wow, maybe
too.
she is the LeBron James, and maybe she is the one I mean, listen, we're all talking about her. That's worth a season, right? So I'm so torn. I'm
And
so torn.
you have to imagine too, behind the scenes, Bravo, maybe not Andy directly, but the production companies are in touch they're watching everything that they're doing. So I don't know. I mean, I've always had this theory, like maybe they love it. Maybe maybe they have learned from these. I think they have learned from these other franchises for sure. I mean, blowing these shows up and starting with no-namers doesn't help. I mean, they really got lightning in a bottle with, Salt Lake, but maybe they're like, fuel the fire, girl, like keep it going. We're getting the highest. I mean, look, it's hard to get high ratings now on TV shows. So maybe they're like, fuck it, balls to, as long as like you're not, I don't know, like, because Rinna is making herself to be the villain. To me, it's almost like she's hung out with Erica Jane so much because Erica is so in your face. And now Rinna is like so in your, like, come for me, you fucking TikTokers.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, well, first of all, it's kind of like Candy. Every year we go through Candy bursts. Is she back? Is she back? Now that she's back, it resets the whole clock. I'm back. You guys are going to have to do. I mean, if Rinna's back, like all this is erased. All of this is like, then she's back. Then filming is starting in like a week when they announce it. And she's just going to, I'm sure she's going to do a post like, you fucking people. Remember Rinna, the cockroach. Don't ever try to squash the cockroach. Like she'll do a post on like Candy, who just is graciously moving on. I mean, I'm not comparing Candy as the villain. I'm just saying like, but I do agree. Like, I didn't think this is a strong statement. I didn't think this was possible, but like, remember when like we as the collective world, I mean, I don't think there was a housewife hated as much as Erica Jane ever in last season. And now
I know.
I think all of these listeners hate Lisa Rinna more than they hate Erica Jane. Right now, if you took a poll, I bet you they hate Lisa Rinna more. I didn't think that was possible. I'm not sure. When was the last time a housewife was this like, there are people that like her. There are people that are like, she is so good at this job, but the majority, I think this is more intense than the hatred for Erica. I don't know. That's what I think.
Oh my God. I mean, Erica Jane is loving this. Erica's like, finally.
She loves every minute.
You know, the beauty of this whole layout is, okay, we're getting ready to head into the reunion with RHOBH. To your point, we have two huge franchises. You know, Salt Lake is now back. Potomac is going to be coming back in 3 months. No one's going to be talking about Rinna unless something, you know, huge happens. Maybe Rinna gives herself a little pause, and then before you know it, they're shooting again. She's back. And you know, the thing with grief, right? Like losing her mom, grief is like all different stages. And you know, I've lost my dad, so I know what that's like. So she could say, you know, well, I was still dealing with grief. I was so awful. And then all of a sudden, right? I mean, what are people going to say to that? Oh, it's not true. I mean, anybody that's lost someone close to them knows it can be years, you know, before you resolve your grief issues. So I mean, it's kind of I don't want to say perfect excuse because it's not an excuse. Her mother, she was very close with her mother, but it's kind of a great storyline.
I mean, that's what Dorinda said. Dorinda said, Richard, I wasn't over Richard. I mean, how many years is it? But that was Dorinda's statement. So, but right. I don't think she's ever going to resign on her own. But yeah, and the thing is, Rinna doesn't stir up the social media as much when she's not on, when it's between seasons and she's filming. I mean, granted, you know, in the finale, we get into all of like who leaks into the media. We already went through this with Lisa Vanderpump. Like, I mean,
Oh, I know this
is Lisa leaking this? I mean,